something that a lot of people are worried about. People are sometimes quick to like declare failure. Doing things like half-heartedly, I'd say, especially now that ChatGPT becomes so popular.
Do you think you'd be able to start Clarity Digital without the experience? Say if you're 20.
I don't know.
I think just starting somewhere, just documenting, I think it's just perfect.
Time's going to tick by whatever you do with it.
Yeah. So James, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. We planned this episode, 2 months ago, I think?
It was a while ago, yeah. It was a long time ago.
Well, it's great to get you on. Nice to meet you. Could you tell me a bit about your background and so you're the owner of Clarity Digital?
Yes, that's right.
Could you tell me what inspired you to start in digital media?
So when you asked that initially, I was thinking of, I think it's normal to think about like your first actual job, you like a 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. And I didn't actually have a marketing role like that until I was maybe 20. Mm-hmm. I think my first job wasn't in marketing. Yeah. But before that, when I was like 12 or 13, it was when like gaming on YouTube started to kind of like become a thing. Yeah. So I was like deep into that whole world, and through that process, I would like make videos, edit them. I would like collaborate with other people, mm-hmm. and there'd be someone doing a commentary over this. And I think it was that sort of those years, because it was for 4 or 5 years I did that. Like probably every week I would have a video, and sometimes more. Yeah. It was that process that I later discovered is like kind of marketing in some ways. It's understanding how to create something and how it's perceived, and how you can do all these little tricks and stuff to keep people excited about something. But as I said, when I was 18, my first job was just like some customer support, office job. Mm-hmm. But through that, I met a lady who was really amazing, and she was into marketing in all her previous jobs. Right. Okay. So through that, we kind of realized that, the next thing for me should definitely be marketing. Mm. So every job after that I had, I think I worked for it was this like luxury chain of hostels around Europe. They had an office in Jersey for the marketing. So I worked there. I briefly worked in finance and marketing, worked for a software company. So there is a lot of, I looked at marketing through many different perspectives.
Lenses. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And do you still game now?
Yes, not as much, because as we were talking about before, I've been traveling a little bit. But I do love it. Like, I think what I love is the sort of social side of it. I find sometimes it's hard to get all my friends to kind of meet up in one place. Yeah. But on a game, everyone's there.
It's much easier, yeah.
What about you? Do you?
Yeah. I game, yeah. Yeah. So my game, FIFA, is mainly my game. Mm-hmm. But I think through lockdown, I think I played the most. I think everyone played the most. Yeah. But it's kind of died down a little bit. I think it was like a lifesaver in COVID. Yeah, I think so. People saying. Yeah. And then my second question, was entrepreneurship something that you've always wanted to pursue? You mentioned it's always been gaming, marketing, that kind of.
Yeah, I think my understanding of like what entrepreneurship is, like being a business owner type thing, has really kind of changed through time. I think when I was really young, I'd have probably said yes, but I think probably most people would have said yes. Mm-hmm. They'd have had some thing they're passionate about, and they'd be like, yeah, let's make a business out of this. But then I think probably from the ages of like 18 to my mid-20s, I was quite, I was almost like deterred about the whole idea. I remember thinking like, because I would just hear so much about how people would find it so stressful, and that it's like a 24-hour, 7 days a week job, usually. Mm-hmm. So for a long time, I think I kind of like buried that idea down in a sense, because I just had decided one day, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. But then these last few years, as I've kind of started to understand a bit more about how I enjoy working, the kind of situations, not situations, the kind of like relationships you can build in work, and how it's nice to kind of be a bit more open and creative in some ways. I kind of, the idea popped up again.
And you mentioned when you thought about entrepreneurship, it's all like stress 24/7. Do you get that now that you start the business, or?
Not as much as I thought it could be. I think I'm quite lucky right now because my goals aren't to like have as large a business as possible, or to like build a big empire or anything like that. I think my goals are more around having that sort of space and freedom to live a lifestyle I really enjoy, which the business is part of, rather than the business comes first and the lifestyle molds around that.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And what about you? I'm curious with the podcasting, with the uni, like how do you view entrepreneurship now? Has that changed through time?
I think probably since the age of 14, 15, I wanted to start a business.
Wow, okay.
So I used to come up ideas and say to my dad, what do you think of this? He'd be like, yeah, sounds good. And then with the podcast, I think it was the first time when my dad was like, actually, yeah, that'd be a great idea. And I think, so since age of 15, I wanted to start one. And I thought with my apprenticeship, with work, I think it'd be a nice thing to do along the side. It wouldn't be like a major business that I'd start and I'd be all stressed out. And I thought it'd be a good way to meet people like yourself. So yeah.
Amazing. And right now, like, do you imagine that like is the dream to have a big business, or is the dream to kind of like, or isn't there a dream? Like what is the...
At the moment, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think at the moment the podcast is like a passion project that I'm loving. So I think I started it in April, so roughly 6-7 months ago. So at the moment it's a passion project, just to see where I go with this.
Yeah.
I think the plan is after my apprenticeship, I move away to the UK.
Wow, okay.
And see if I could bring the podcast with me.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I want to own my own business, but at the moment I don't know what, which. Yeah. And it's just a passion project at the moment.
Well, it's a great, as you were saying, it's such a good way to meet different people, hear different ideas. If this is the best way to kind of like lay the seeds for something that might sprout sometime.
Yeah. So hopefully it'd be
amazing. I'm keen to follow the progress.
Thank you. And then moving on to your business, Clarity Digital. For those unfamiliar with what Clarity Digital is, could you explain what it is and what inspired the name as well?
Yeah. So I think all the different roles I had to do with marketing, like a theme started to emerge, whether it was like I was working in-house in marketing, whether I was hiring an agency, or whether I was working at an agency. I started realizing that everybody kind of has the same problems. Like if you're in a marketing team, or if you have nothing to do with marketing, but you want to kind of communicate with a marketing team, and the problems are usually around clarity. It's around confusion, around maybe unclear expectations, uncertain reporting. So I realized like the essence of what I want to do is provide some clarity around marketing. So I was like, well, clarity is
the perfect name.
is the perfect name. So that's where it comes from, and it kind of like guides every decision and every everything I do. Yeah. Okay. That's the hope.
And did you, when you were planning on setting up your business, did you have any other names, or was it straight just Clarity?
I think it was just straight Clarity. Oh, wow, okay. I think I thought about maybe Clear. Yeah. But I think I like Clarity because it has fewer connotations. Like clear can mean like a clear day, a clear. Clear of something. But clarity feels like when you hear the word clarity, it's clear what it means.
No, that's okay. Makes sense. Yeah, because I remember when I set up the podcast, I think I had like 3 or 4 names, and it was Jersey Mission, Island Mission, stuff like that. And then I think I spent a few weeks on picking the name, and then I was like, we'll just do Island Driven, and it's kind of just stuck.
And how did you choose it in the end? Like, was it just one that kept coming back as?
I think so. Yeah,
favorite?
I think I wanted. it to be about community, about myself, and about Jersey. So island and then driven. I wanted driven people to come on, driven me, and like so. That's kind of how the name came up. I
remember there's this, have you ever gone on the website marketingexamples.com? No. Oh, it's amazing. It's this guy called Harry Dry, and he posts like usually case studies, but they're very, very, how would you even put it? There's no waffle. It's like straight to the point, precise. Right, okay. Everything, there's an image for everything. Some of them are like 20 seconds to read, or some of them are 10 seconds to read.
Yeah.
Some of them are like 5 minutes, but they're always fascinating. And one of the ones he did was when he was guiding people on how to write a good landing page title, he would say his personal process was to kind of come up with a list of, say, 10, and this would probably apply to a name of a podcast or something. And he would say, like, show them to all your friends, ask them what their favorite is. Whatever their favorite is, ignore that. The next day, ask them which ones they remember and choose that one. Okay. And I thought that was such an interesting way of doing it, because what you really want with a landing page title or a homepage title sometimes is that sort of thing to keep popping up. You want people to kind of like sink into people rather than something that sounds good in the moment.
That's it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So that's something I'll probably do. It's something I have done actually, and it's something I'll probably continue to do.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely use that. If I'd set up my own business, I'd use it.
Yeah.
And then my next question, with the marketing industry being a really competitive field, how did you go about getting your first clients or projects when you first started?
So this is the perfect example of like why network and stuff matters, because especially in a place like Jersey. Yeah. So I was really lucky to have had a lot of good connections in the past who I've worked with. Yeah. So through that, it was the first few projects were kind of like there already, you know, when I said. And through that, it kind of like there's repetition and you sort of build relationships that way. So luckily, I haven't had to run any ads or anything like that yet, which is nice. Like ads are great, but I think my love is of like organic stuff, of people finding you rather than you getting in front of people.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
because when I started the podcast, I had already a few people that would actually come on, so I had like 3 or 4 people, and I was like, okay, it's a good starting point. Yeah. And then networking has been in Jersey it's just miles easier because everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, it's like as soon as you speak to one person, it's like a roots of a tree.
That's
like
it.
It connects everywhere.
Yeah.
But also maybe to add a bit more to that response, while all those, between the jobs that I mentioned I had before and stuff, I would often do these little projects for like friends or family. So that really added a lot to the scope.
Yeah.
Which I think is it's probably a more important thing than ever, is to have a wide variety of experience, especially in marketing. It's like, like people want someone that can make a website, that can like run an ad, that can audit something, that can write a 12-month strategy. It's hard to be a specialist, and it's probably going to get harder.
Yeah. And then, what is one challenge you are facing with the business right now, do you think?
I'd probably say it's the continual requirement of like finding people.
Right. Okay.
Because there just isn't like an infinite budget with everybody, and even when you do something really well, a lot of projects in marketing aren't sort of self-sustaining, if that makes sense. So like with a business, like you need an upfront investment sometimes.
Yeah.
So with that, it can take a while before we can start to say, 100%, look, like for every £1 you give clarity, we give you £2. Like it can take a long time before you can actually say that with precision and say that with like sincerity.
Yeah. Okay.
So the moment is finding more clients, which is why it's nice to be back in Jersey and sort of like network around and
makes sense.
I think that's true of like most businesses. It's the kind of constant churn and reaching out.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. And then moving on to digital marketing in general, how do you think smaller businesses or startups compete digitally with big brands that have a big budget, do you think?
I think this is a good question. And I think it's something that a lot of people are worried about. And I think people are sometimes quick to like declare failure and go, oh, you know, this brand has £1 million a month to spend on ads. I have like none, or I have like £100. What can I possibly do? But it's really worth exploring how different it is to run a small business versus a big one. Because in the bigger teams, there's so much like bureaucracy, there's so much restrictions on what you can and can't do, and things that kind of block you in the way, get in the way of any experimentation.
Yeah.
So as a small business, I think your advantage is that you can be very adaptable.
Okay.
You can quickly experiment. Say you want to test, you want to promote something, and you're doing ads, and you have £100. You don't need to put £100 into one ad set. You can split it into 5, and then really quickly see which one's getting better results, and then shift more money into that. And it's really sort of active and engaging.
Okay.
Whereas these bigger brands, it's very different. It's often about just volume, like how many impressions can we get? But it's interesting because you're a big fan of like Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
That's something that I've heard that he often does when he's deciding a thumbnail, for example.
Yeah.
He will create maybe 20 different versions of the thumbnail, post them all as ads, and then use that data to decide which is best.
That's it, yeah.
And that's something you can do as a small business in like every area. You can really just go crazy with it.
And do you think you're, as owner of Clarity Digital, do you think you're active? Do you think you're more adaptable?
Definitely. Because what I try to do is every time I hear a question from someone's curious, I can then make a piece of content specific to that question.
Yeah, okay.
So it really feels kind of like an intimate connection between you and your audience, which is, I imagine, something you feel as well.
Yeah.
Whereas imagine if you're Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO, how many millions of questions does he get a day? And he probably has a team, reviews, and it becomes more of a traditional office job, I think, at some point. Whereas as a smaller business, you just have a lot of flexibility and you can have fun with it.
Yeah, okay. And then what is the most common mistake you see businesses making when it comes to digital marketing?
I would say it's doing things like half-heartedly, I'd say, because especially now that ChatGPT, for example, has become so popular, it's so easy to get it to write your content for you, and then to get it to generate images for you, and I think that's so risky, especially as a small business or a small brand, because it's sort of like the moment someone recognizes that your post is written by ChatGPT, which often is quite obvious, unless you're prompting very specifically and getting it to remove certain words and everything, it's usually quite obvious. And every time someone perceives that, that's like a little wound to your brand. Yeah. And then someone else sees it and it's like another little wound. And I think these accumulate over time. And without you even realizing, you're suddenly left where very few people have a really positive impression of you. And I think I say complacency and not ChatGPT because I think ChatGPT isn't the only way that can happen. I think it can happen with, for example, if you like make a promise as a brand and then you don't follow through, or you imply something and you're really unclear about something. I think it's like these little micro experiences are a lot more important than the big ones. Everyone's worried about like a brand disaster, like you tweet something and it's like offends everybody. But really, I think the damage usually comes from these little tiny moments of disappointment.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I had a business that I went to and found out it was ChatGPT, I reckon I think I'd be gone.
You just, because you just extrapolate from that. You think, okay, if they can only spend 20 seconds writing this post, are they really doing their service so well? And we're quick to kind of extrapolate from these little signals.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like everyone, I definitely am not against ChatGPT, and I love AI. I'm fascinated by it. But it's something to be very careful with. Yeah. Like it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask, do you use AI in your business as well?
Yeah. Absolutely. I love it usually for the review stage of any work.
Okay.
Because you can just quickly get it to act as like for example, as like a graphic designer with a specialty in this particular style of something.
Okay.
And then you quickly get it to act as like a copywriter of a specific form of like this, and then you get it to act as a brand champion of this. And it's much better at reviewing because it doesn't kind of like skew your own ideas. I think sometimes you need to sit down and have that frustration of not knowing what to write for it to come naturally. Whereas if you use ChatGPT a lot as like a starting point, or even worse, as a first draft, it's kind of already like taken the piece of content away from you.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I still think it's amazing. I absolutely love it, and I think it's something that people should pay more attention to rather than less.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you? What's your take on it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'll probably use, I think, especially for uni work, not writing all my stuff out. But I think, do you use ChatGPT on your phone? Do you have?
Yeah.
Do you pay premium or not? Okay, I might need to pay premium because my content is full. So every time I have to have a new topic, the one below gets deleted and it just keeps on. So I think I need to pay for premium. But I use ChatGPT pretty much every day for work, uni, podcast.
So many good cases for it.
Grok, have you used Grok?
Yeah.
Grok I use as well. So they're the main two.
Yeah.
But I love AI. I think it's scary what it's.
So scary. Yeah. Like it's, people tend to think it's like overhyped a lot, whereas I think it's underhyped. Like I think it's gonna just change everything. So many good use cases for it, but so many bad, and most people lean towards the bad ones. Yeah, unfortunately.
And then this is a long question. Social media apps actually use our habits and online behavior to influence the ads and content we see. What is your opinion on this, and does Clarity Digital assist with this?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it definitely is scary, the way of social media and data collection and what you can do with it. I think in the time that I've worked in marketing, counterintuitively, it's actually the specificity with which you can target people has actually reduced. I think as third-party cookies have kind of declined around the world, and a lot of laws have come in like GDPR, that has luckily made some of the really like scary use cases of it disappear. In the past you could target something so almost specifically to a person. Like you could say, is this age, is interested in this, that, and that, is not interested in this and that. Has bought from this website but not this one. There's still a bit of that, but it's not at the same precision, luckily. But I think when it comes to the algorithm stuff, that's also very worrying. And I think even in a way it's more worrying because with these ads, as I was saying, like someone can describe exactly why someone's seeing an ad. They can say because of this, that, and that. With most of these algorithms today, even the people working at the company, for example, Meta or TikTok, as far as I'm aware, they wouldn't even be able to tell you precisely why you're seeing the feed the way it is.
Right. Okay.
It's actually done like an AI neural network. It's it's like a quintillion, if this, then that.
Right, okay, yeah.
So that's scary because no one can then say, if someone does this, that, and that, we should stop them from seeing that.
Yeah.
Instead, it's kind of just left to this super intelligence device that is trying to keep you on the app as long as possible. And that, I think, is really scary.
Yeah.
And that is scary even as like a creator like yourself, because if your sole goal above anything else was like views, that can lead to like a scary, dangerous place.
Yeah.
Whereas I know you're not like that, which is good.
Yeah.
But not everybody is. A lot of people are kind of one track minded. And I think that's scary because it takes a lot of humans away from decision making and can kind of send people down some crazy rabbit holes. And that's worrying. But part of your question was, does clarity assist with this? I think luckily I've not been in any ethical dilemmas as of yet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to work with a company that's doing something questionable anyway.
Yeah.
So definitely anything that involves like vulnerability, anything involving like gambling or addiction or anything like that is a hard no.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something to be really aware of all the time, because even something that seems non-harmful can be harmful to the wrong person. Someone that's addicted to buying things, you don't want to give them something really easy to buy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or someone, yeah. What's your take on it? Because you're quite a bit younger than me. I'm curious what the kind of paradigm is right now with algorithms, social media.
Yeah, I think we learn about it in uni quite a lot as well.
Oh, okay.
I find it really interesting. I think something that links to it, not the same, but I think we learn different apps. You know, when you agree for, what's it like, just contracts?
Yeah,
and it's just you just swipe and you
Terms
just agree.
of service.
That's it. Yeah. I think a few apps you just skip it and press accept, and they can actually see what you're looking at and see. So say the Alexa.
Yeah.
Do you know the Alexa can just turn on just randomly and it just picks up where you are, what you're listening to, and stuff like that. I think that's scary.
Yeah.
So we've learned a little bit of that in uni. But yeah, and I didn't realise that certain apps can do that as well. But yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Very scary.
You, in your personal life, like, what's your take on, like, are you very active on these social media apps, or are you kind of, is it more for the business?
Trying to think. Snapchat I use a lot. That's obviously not for the business. Instagram I use for the business.
Yeah.
A lot. TikTok is a big one as well. What others? YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, mainly Instagram and TikTok is what I use for the business, I think.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas that's, obviously for Instagram it's shorts, TikToks, it's TikTok, YouTube shorts and stuff like that for the podcast. But yeah, that's probably
I think it's the best way to get discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because I use TikTok for when I first started the podcast, I used TikTok at first, and I saw it wasn't getting not many views, not many likes. And I saw YouTube Shorts, and the first short, it was 1.3k views.
Wow.
But do you look at YouTube Shorts?
I don't personally look at them.
I don't either. So when I uploaded it and saw that, I was like, I've never looked at YouTube Shorts. TikToks I use a lot, so I would have thought TikTok would have been the most.
Sometimes, I don't know whether this explains why that happened, but I know sometimes when apps or social media platforms are really trying to like push a new thing, like YouTube Shorts obviously wants to be the new TikTok.
Right, okay, yeah.
They will really twist and tweak their algorithms so that anyone who's like an early adopter of it gets like disproportionately good results.
And then they post more.
So they post more.
Right, okay, makes
so
sense.
Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Maybe it was just a great clip.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm sure it was both.
But yeah, no, I couldn't believe it. I thought TikToks would be more. It's getting better now, TikToks, but yeah, YouTube Shorts.
Interesting.
I never looked at YouTube Shorts, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found it interesting. Advice for others. What are the most important skills or traits someone needs to build a business like yours?
I think it sounds like I'm like a broken record, but I would actually say clarity.
Yeah.
Being clear about what you're trying to do. And that way you know if you're on the right track or not.
Yeah.
I think it's important to actually have had experience doing the thing you're trying to promote. So that's a key part, but I think that's not a surprise to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all the stuff you'd expect, like confidence from having things have gone well, things have gone badly, and you've kind of been in all of these situations. I think that's a skill that will really help you when you're trying to like speak with people about your service, because you can say like, if they ask a question about what if this happens, what if that happens, you're not just sort of making something up or saying that won't happen.
Yeah.
You're sort of saying like, yeah, that is a possibility. This is how I dealt with it in the past. This is, so I think experience is something that's hard to replace. And then on a perhaps broader level, it's things like networking. It's people have to want to buy your service from you. Branding is often a sort of like, for small businesses especially, it really kind of leads to the person, the individual who you're talking to. So you have to be comfortable speaking with people and that sort of thing. But I think every business is different, and especially as more things can be done online.
And do you think, you mentioned you can't be experienced, do you think you'd be able to start Clarity Digital without the experience? Say if you're 20 and you start Clarity, do you think you'd be able to do it?
I don't know.
No.
To be honest, but this is about me. This is because this is a me problem. Because as I was saying, I was kind of a little scared of just even like the concept of owning a business in the past. But so I'd say for me, no. But I'd say for many, many other people, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Like for you, I think if you find something that kind of resonates with you, that can be all it takes. And one of the amazing things about living in sort of this day and age is that the process of getting good at something is like something you can use in the business. It's like you can. So many people have become very profitable business owners by documenting their process to become business owners. It's this amazing like meta world we're living in where the barrier to entry is so amazingly low that you can just try everything and just go for it. And like with your YouTube short, the right business idea can just unexpectedly pop off, and that's you like sorted for a while. Yeah.
So do you think, say, if you were 20 again, would you document your life?
I would really, really think about it. I really would, because I imagine sometimes when I think back to that YouTube channel I had when I was like 13, that would have been, if I'd have like if I didn't just give up and just stop one day, there's a very high chance that it would be like big enough to be the like stepping stone into a proper real business. Because at the time it was like, maybe, I don't want to be specific if I'm not sure, but I think it was probably in like amongst the top 20 in terms of like subscribers. So even though that number is relatively small, like if you were to say the subscriber count now, it sounds like nothing. But if you sort of like continue that trajectory, who knows? So yeah, I think it's very fun making videos, writing. All these things are really fun, and they're really intrinsically rewarding. So I would I would definitely do some of that if I was 20. And
yeah. I think especially if you're, say if you, 18, 19, 20, if you've got like a 9 to 5, I think just starting somewhere, just documenting, I think it's just perfect, because it's not starting something big, it's not, you're not draining money, you're not draining anything, it's just, you're just getting out there. So I think it's...
That time's going to tick by whatever you do with it. So, and something that always fascinates me, because like why I love traveling, is that normality to most other people in the world is like fascinating to us because we're from Jersey. Yeah. But it's the same the other way around. Our normality is fascinating to like 90% of people. But they just don't have the opportunity to like indulge in it. So I think there's a lot of conflicting feelings when you're like recording yourself on camera and stuff, because part of you is like, is this me being egotistical? Is this me being vain? But if you can let go of that limitation, there's so much value you can provide to people's lives just by sort of being you, just by having fun, like documenting what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. And then, what is one piece of advice you'd give to someone who is scared to take the first step into entrepreneurship?
I would probably, again, I'm going to say clarity. I'd probably try and really understand, like, what is it they're scared of? What is it that they want to get from it?
Yeah, okay.
By understanding these two things, you can then be a lot more specific about like, is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Is this the right thing? Is this, maybe we should tweak this thing? But if someone's scared, it probably means they do want to do it, but something's holding them back. So for them, if what's holding them back is like a feeling of failing, or a feeling of, like we were just saying, coming across as vain or being perceived in a particular way, then I would say that's something to really explore in yourself and in others. And I think quite quickly almost everyone comes to the conclusion that it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. If you fail, that's fine. Yeah. If you fail, that's a great LinkedIn post.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you feel when you see others post videos of themselves? You don't go like, oh, what a loser, this person loves themselves. Yeah. You probably just go, cool, like another thing on my feed. Or even more likely, you probably go like, well done, like some guys actually, or some girls actually doing something different. And they're not just kind of being pushed around by everyone else.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I remember, have you heard of the speaker factor? You might have been travelling when...
Yeah, it rings a bell. I think I've seen photos. Or
yeah, so I did that, I think it was, a few months back. And I'm terrible at public speaking, so I just thought, we'll go for it.
I don't believe that.
And I thought exactly what a great LinkedIn post. So even if I just got up on the stage and just started crying, just a good LinkedIn post. So
it probably would have been better if you cried.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But I think that's a good advice for other people. Even if you fail, you just still, even if it's like just documenting, and you're just, or a LinkedIn post.
Yeah,
you just learn more about the person, and it could just inspire just that random person. It's just...
Yeah. And I think we really overestimate how much people think about us.
Yeah.
No one is actually thinking about you unless they're your like partner, unless they're your mom or your dad. Realistically, for better or for worse, most of us are just sort of like a collection of side characters in other people's lives. Yeah. So if we do something wrong, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then with a business like Clarity Digital, how do you stay driven and focused?
I think it's probably because I've been really lucky to find kind of like intrinsic value, intrinsic joy in the stuff I do. Like like reviewing things, learning new things. I think that's such a pleasure of mine, and that's something that I really try to incorporate to the business as much as possible. Like really, I want to stay on top of AI. I want to stay on top of everything. So it's really lucky in a way, because the business is, it's kind of the things I love doing already. So if I'm not driven, if I'm unmotivated, it's not because I don't enjoy the work. It's usually because I'm just not paying attention. I'm distracted.
Yeah.
Which is very good. And I imagine it's the same with you.
Yeah. I think it's... With the podcast, you obviously have your Monday, you publish the episode, and then it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's like shorts, and then promoting, and then stuff like that. But I think you have some days where you can't be bothered to post that one short. You can't be asked to just do little stuff. I think I aim to do everything. In the morning.
Yes.
When it comes to like shorts, and then just it's out of the way, and then I can focus on other stuff, whether that's reaching out to new people or editing that episode. But yeah, you do get a few days, especially the editing. It gets quite boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody has a different set of things that motivate them. Mm-hmm. So some people love doing the work itself, but sometimes people can not like the day-to-day work sometimes, but still love it overall because they kind of see a deeper purpose to it.
Yeah.
It's like you can do almost anything, and if it feels important to you, you can get through and like keep going.
Yeah.
So I imagine with you, you see this broader context. Like as far as I'm aware, you're one of like the first video podcasters in Jersey, like in this kind of realm.
Yeah.
And that is like valuable. That is amazing. So even if you have these moments where it's like late at night and you're frustrated and you feel like you have to do this thing and you know it doesn't feel worth it, I think if you don't already, you should bring to mind like the broader value, because it is something really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It was. I think I'm loving the podcast at the moment. It was weird this weekend. I literally didn't do anything, no work. I was on the PlayStation. I was watching football, and it felt weird. And I was looking for on the Saturday and Sunday. I was looking forward to the Monday to Friday because I've got a set routine. Monday, an episode recording. Friday, episode recording, and I've got the shorts, I've got the TikToks, and I miss that. So I'm loving it at the moment.
Yeah, routine is underrated.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so.
Like, when you get a good routine, like you're excited the day before, you're like satisfied at the end of the day. Yeah. And
then I've got one slider question. I think this is one from my mate. Do you have a repeatable process for each service you offer to improve service delivery, and how long did it take to craft this?
That's a really good question. There are some things that are best done from fresh every time. So, for example, like a content strategy, some of the higher level strategy, it's tempting to standardize it, but it usually comes up with a lot of problems. You're usually trying to like squeeze things in when they're not necessarily appropriate.
Yeah.
Whereas other things are like so much better when done in a standardized way. And I think the big one there is like auditing. When you review when you're like determining how strong a website is in a particular area, it's so useful to have a standardized way, because you can then go, compared to these 20 other Jersey businesses, this is like way higher, this is way lower. Compared to yourself 6 months ago, this is way higher, way lower. So without having that sort of control that exists through time, a lot of insights are kind of lost.
Yeah.
in terms of how long it takes and for which service it really depends on the service we're talking about. Because the one that comes to mind is this one I created called the AI Authority Score, which was a very long time in the works. But after like weeks of trying different ways to kind of standardize it and come up with a number, because that's what I wanted, is something tangible.
Yeah.
I created this massive spreadsheet with all these formulas and inputs and conditioning, and that probably, as I said, took weeks to create. But now that it's there, it's very quick to fill in for a client.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you just basically have to input some outputs from AIs, like ChatGPT. So yeah, it can take anything from weeks to an hour or two, depending on the template. A lot of people use them for writing, for example, like I think poem, POEM is like point. Oh, I don't even remember. Yeah, there's a lot of these different acronyms. These ones are already done for you, so it's kind of standardized already.
Yeah. Okay. And that's all my questions for you.
Amazing.
But thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
That was really, really fun. Like yeah, that was really, really fun. And
really enjoyed it. And yeah, we planned this episode 2 months ago, didn't we?
Yes.
So long wait in the works. And a few of my mates are in the digital marketing field, like I said before, so they're quite excited for this episode to come
good.
out.
I'm happy. And if any of them ever want to reach out and talk, I'm here.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.